Go for the rapid fire.
So my freestyle, I got it.
Oh, no.
After the Crown Vic got destroyed at a Kia,
Yep.
Kia got destroyed, or Toyota got destroyed, banged up pretty significantly. That's not the main part of the story. So we got a Ford Freestyle. It's an 06, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. In fact, it was actually pretty quality. It was probably from my experience, when it drove well, it was the best car I drove. It was pretty decent. It didn't feel like a cheap piece of plastic.
We'll get to that shortly.
It felt like there was some power in the engine.
It was, for what it was pretty good.
Again, one of the few issues was that it was ass and a half long. Like
that was a long one.
Basically, what the Mustang would be if
it had a big back seat. Yeah,
it had a back seat and a trunk. This thing had 4 back seats, at least, and
it had a third row
and a spacious trunk.
Did it have a DVD player in it?
It did, yes. I did not use it.
That's so ironic, isn't it?
Yeah. I finally got a DVD player in one of my cars, and I can't watch it.
The movie fanatic himself. What do you know?
Dun 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 dun
dun dun dun dun dun.
Anyway, though, I actually kept it in pretty decent shape. There's a few bumper issues, but it
little minor fender bender or something, but
minor bumper issues, but not like it crunched into oblivion like the Toyota
or this car's predecessor.
Indeed, but
the Mitsubishi.
The issue was the engine gave out or something. Like I couldn't get what?
Transmission.
Oh, yeah. The transmission was shot.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it. Like my family lives in like a subdivision with a gigantic hill that I gotta get out of, and one morning I could not make it up the hill.
And it wouldn't make it anywhere after that. You could not move.
Yeah. So, the end. And it wasn't my fault.
No, it was not. It was not at all.
They would love to make it my fault.
Maybe, but
it was not my fault.
I'll get to that in a moment in my brief overview.
A.k.a. my father is an idiot.
Yeah.
When it comes to cars, especially. But still love him, though. Anyway, though. Car, pretty decent up until a point. And I would give it a solid 7 out of 10, because it was a bus. And I didn't need a bus, but I was given a bus.
Yeah.
The end. Son, your 30-second thoughts.
30-second thoughts. I think for what you look for in a vehicle, it was a pretty good fit. It was a great fit for you. Maybe a little bit long, but overall it worked well for the kind of stuff you like to do and how you do things in life.
For the most part.
It was fairly luxurious. I think it was like a top-of-the-line model. Trim level wise, so that was kind of cool. That was pretty neat. The biggest issue for me with that thing was 2 things. One being the power steering was garbage on it, and it never ever seemed to work quite right. It would always sometimes be where it would be like with the groaning noise, and you could barely turn it. I remember for a while there, we kept having to put power steering fluid in it because it would leak. Typical Ford thing, though. Hate to knock on them, but it is true. Other thing is the transmission is what they call a CVT, and it doesn't really shift. It just kind of variously it just kind of keeps accelerating, and it doesn't shift gears. So it's a cool concept. It's smooth and really nice when it works, but it was pretty unreliable, as most of them are, and I was worried that this would be how this vehicle ended when I found out he was going to get this car for himself, and that's what happened. So I got a knock for it on that one. I hate to do it, but it's mainly because of the CVT. I'm going to give it a 6.
Ah, I see.
Mostly because of the transmission flaw. That's a bad design choice.
AKA a D.
Yeah, I mean, if they just put a standard like 5-speed automatic gearbox in there, you'd probably still be driving that thing.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing because now let's hear about what